Hello students, welcome back to your online classes. My name is Sabita Sharma and I am your economics teacher. Today we will learn chapter number 3b, methods of measuring price elasticity of demand. This is my lecture number 3. Methods of measuring price elasticity of demand is divided into three parts. Number 1, ratio or percentage method. Number 2, total expenditure method. And number 3, point method or geometric method. So here with the ratio or percentage method. This method is given by Professor Marshall. According to this method, elasticity of demand is measured by dividing the percentage change in demand by the percentage change in price. Students, till now we are saying that yes, elasticity of demand is the measurement of percentage change in demand, percentage change in price, or you can say how much your demand is increasing, how much your demand is decreasing. That measurement I will explain in this particular chapter, and it's a very easy. Many students have phobia of maths. No, it's not at all a maths. It's very easy, and easy way I can explain you how you have to solve percentage or the ratio method. This method is also known as arithmetic method. So here is the formula: price elasticity of demand equal to percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. So what is this percentage change in quantity demanded? Very easy. Delta Q by Q into 100 whole divided by delta P by P into 100. Or you can write delta Q by P delta P into P by Q. Here with the example of ratio or percentage method. The price of ice cream is rupees 4 per cup and demand is for 1 cup. If the price of ice cream falls to rupees 4 to 2 per cup, demand of ice cream increases 1 cup to 4 cup. Now class, it's very easy to learn. When the price is 4 high, demand is only 1 cup less. As price decreases 4 cup to 2 per cup, the demand increases 1 cup of ice cream to 4 cups of ice creams. So according to law of demand also, it's clear, when the price is high, demand is less. When the price is less, demand is high. Now how you have to solve this? You know the formula? Formula is delta Q by delta P into P by Q. Now what is this delta Q or delta P? This is very important. Delta Q stand for Q1 minus Q and delta P stand for P1 minus P. Now what is this P1? What is this P is also very important. Now in the for this you have given here example. In the example, P stand for 4. It means initial price, whatever may be the first price, initial price, that is termed as P. And P1 stand for whatever may be the next price, change price. Here 4 to 2. So here 2 is the P1. And how you have to find out delta P? It's very easy. P1 minus P. It means change price minus initial price. So 2 minus 4. Now here also very important. 2 is a small amount and 4 is a bigger amount. We cannot actually minus from the small amount to bigger amount according to maths. But if you are subtracting, you have to give a minus sign. Okay, so that's why here minus 2 rupees is left. We got delta P. Is clear for everyone, I think. Delta P equal to P1 minus P. Here P1 equal to 2 and P equal to 4. So 2 minus 4 equal to minus 2. Now you have to find out according to formula. We have P, we have Q, we have delta P also. So now only we need delta Q. What is the formula of delta Q? Q1 minus Q. Now same way, Q1 is equal to how much? Initial demand. Initial demand is only 1 cup. That's why Q1 equal to Q equal to 1 cup. Q is stand for initial demand. Q is stand for initial demand, and that is 1 cup. And Q1 stand for increased in demand, and whatever may be the change in demand due to decrease in price. That is 1 cup to 4 cups. So Q1 is 4 cups. And what is the formula of delta Q? Q1 minus Q. So the answer is 3. So as you will solve this one, here we need delta P, Q. P is how much? P is how much? P is 4. And Q is how much? Q is 1. Q1 or delta Q is how much? Delta Q is 3. Delta P is how much? Minus 2. So minus, why we ignore that, I will say afterwards to you. So we are writing everything here, and when you solve, you are getting the answer 6. Your answer is how much? 6. Okay, so 6 stand for it is more than 1. 6 is more than 1. So ED is greater than 1, or it is termed as relative elastic demand curve. You will remember relative elastic demand curve. It means here demand is more comparison to price. Now, the very important thing, why we have to ignore this minus sign, or you are taking in minor bracket, or you can ignore also. Value of elasticity of demand is negative. We have a negative relation between price and demand of the commodity because of the negative slope of demand curve. But for the sake of simplicity, we simply ignore negative sign, because already we are in the negative situation, or negative already become positive. So for the sake of simplicity, we simply ignore this minus sign. Is it clear for everyone? Or in this way we solve the percentage method. Next, I am going to the total expenditure method. This method is also given by Professor Marshall. Under this method, very important, under this method, to measure the elasticity of demand, one find out how much and in what direction, how much and direction of total expenditure changes as a result of change in price of the commodity. It means when price changes, class, now we are in the total expenditure method. So in the total expenditure method, we are concentrating on price and total expenditure. How much price is increasing or decreasing, and due to that reason how much total expenditure is increasing or decreasing, that we are going through the total expenditure method. So in this method, total amount of expenditure before and after the price change is compared. Only we are comparing. With the comparison, you will explain the types of elasticity of demand in the total expenditure method. When the price is high or less, total expenditure is high or less. When the price is constant, but the total expenditure is high or low. So here only we are doing the comparison. Okay, on the comparison basis, we will find out that your demand is elastic, your demand is inelastic, or your demand is less elastic. So the next one, what is the formula of total expenditure? Total expenditure equal to price into quantity demanded. So the next, with this table, it's very easy for you that how you have to remember total expenditure method. I took situation A, B, C. You have only three kinds of situation in the total expenditure. Now price of the commodity 21, 21, 21. Quantity of the commodity 48, 410 and 34 I took. Total expenditure. How you have to got the total expenditure? Just now you saw the total expenditure method, P into Q. P into Q. So first 2 into 4, 8, 1 into 8, 8, 2 into 4, 8, 1 into 10, 10, 2 into 3, 6, 1 into 4, 4. Is it clear for everyone? Now, as I said, in the total expenditure method, we will compare price and the way the total expenditure is moving, or the way total expenditure is what we are watching. Okay, now the first one, when the price is low or high, 2 to 1 or 1 to 2. Okay, when the price is decreasing 2 rupees to 1 rupees or increasing 1 rupees to 2 rupees, total expenditure remain constant. Total expenditure remain same. So this is termed as unitary elastic demand, ED equal to 1. Clear it is कि when the price is increasing or decreasing, total expenditure remain constant or same. This is termed as unitary elastic demand, ED equal to 1. Now the next one, when the price is decreasing 2 to 1. Now remember here, this is a trick also you have to remember. When the price is decreasing 2 to 1, total expenditure increases 8 to 10. Or when price increases 1 to 2, price increases 1 rupees to 2 rupees, total expenditure decreases 10 to 8. Here we have which kind of relation? Negative relation. Here we have which kind of relation? Negative relation. When the price is decreasing, total expenditure increases. When the price is increases, total expenditure decreases. So in the expenditure method, if you have a negative relation between price and total expenditure, your demand is greater than 1. Clear? The next one, when the price decreases 2 to 1, total expenditure also decreases 6 to 4. When the price increases 1 to 2, total expenditure also increases 4 to 6. So here we have a positive relation. Here we have a positive relation. We are comparing price and total expenditure. When the price decreases, total expenditure also decreases. When price increases, total expenditure also increases. So it shows a positive relation, and that is ED is less than 1. You only remember the trick. When negative, ED is greater than 1. When positive, ED is less than 1. So you can see this with the help of diagram also. Diagram of total expenditure. Negative relation. We know that when you are making a negative relation, your demand curve slope downward. So that's why ED is greater than 1. When you have a positive relation, your demand curve slope upward. So it is ED is less than 1. Or when price increases or decreases, total expenditure remain constant, that is ED equal to 1. So on the basis of this types of total expenditure, on the basis of above table and diagram, we have three types of total expenditure. Number one, relative elastic demand, ED is greater than 1. Here you have a negative relation with price and total expenditure. Number second, you have unitary elastic demand, ED equal to 1. Here price increases or decreases but total expenditure remain constant. Number third, relative inelastic demand curve. Here you have positive relation with price and total expenditure. Price increases, total expenditure also increases. When price decreases, total expenditure also decreases. So it is relative inelastic demand curve. I hope the total expenditure method and the method of percentage and proportionate is clear for you. Thank you.